I'm Christian Leone. I'm 20 years old. I'm from Carlsbad, California, and I am a Christian. To me, my faith means having a personal relationship with God rather than belonging to an organization or an organized church. I got into my faith from my dad. It started in middle school. It was about 8th grade when he invited me to start going to Bible studies with a really good family friend of ours. He's been a close family friend for all of my life and a second father figure to me, and I felt very comfortable at his house and in the surroundings. Skate culture in Southern California is very anti-establishment. A lot of people don't like to conform what is going on with the rest of the world, and a lot of people have either no attitude or a negative attitude towards religion. A few times in my life I've had instances where I wasn't persecuted, but I was talked down to or criticized for my faith. I was called too Christian for not wanting to go smoke and drink in high school from a bunch of my friends. And at work, I was also criticized for being a Christian for the same thing, and a coworker of mine had been made fun of for wanting to do what he felt was right rather than conforming to a lot of our friends' ideas of what they thought was right. At first, like many, I was confrontational or shy about it and chose not to talk about my religion. But as I got older, I understood that people weren't always against it, they just didn't know my part of being in part of a religion, whereas they hadn't grown up with any religion in their household. So instead of being confrontational, I've now found it easier to respond to people by showing them my point of view rather than being rude or condescending to what they think is right. It's always easier to share what you think is right in a positive way than trying to start an argument with someone who doesn't see your point of view. In skateboarding, there's not a very big Christian community. There are pro skateboarders like Josh Harmony who have been positive influences and openly talk about their faith with Jesus. And I found that to be very comforting to know that there are others out there like me. Whereas so many in the skateboarding community are very anti-establishment and don't like religion. They don't like being told what to do. And since it's often viewed as an outlaw sport or as something that goes against the normal culture, a lot of the views in skateboarding are still that way, to where they don't want to be told what to do. So why would they be part of religion saying don't do this and don't do that? For those that are struggling with their faith, whether it be Christian or any other form of religion or way of thinking, be confident in your own opinions. It's okay to believe what you believe, and you're not always going to agree with others. But the sooner you understand that, the easier it is to be okay with your own beliefs. It's always easier to respond positively than to be confrontational and start arguments. Because when people try to start arguments, that's when you get labeled with bad names. Whereas when you're confident and positive in your responses, people are a lot more likely to understand your point of view.